I'm live. Uh, just seeing what's up on a Saturday night, Sunday morning for some. um, yeah, I'm home by myself and did a lot of chores today and just want to hang out. Didn't want to go out. No, I've gotten to that point in my life where the girls are out of town and I just don't really feel like going out. So um, let's see what's going on here. Um, yeah, the chores is basically we're having some renovations happening to the house, so had to do some cleanup here. We're getting some flooring put in next week. Got some guys ripping out the old stuff. Uh, yeah, good times. Home ownership, yay! So, but yeah, I just posted a video of my summertime, end of summer vinyl finds. Um, yeah, got some good stuff there. So go check that out. Uh, um, played one of them earlier because I hadn't spun it yet, so I did spin it. Thankfully, it's a very very short record. So got through that pretty quick. So cheers, y'all. So in fact, that's it right there. What I played. So, since no one's watching right now, I'm just kind of talking into the ether, but that's normal. It's feels like my normal day. One person's watching. How you doing? Good evening. Good morning. What time uh, is it in your area? So, and they left. Let's see. What does this do? Hide panel. I don't want to hide panel. But got a visiting dog here. Gonna go lay down. It's been a long day for him too. Ain't that right? No, I don't want to play ball with you. But yeah, just a lot of housework this weekend. Uh, my my girls will be back on Monday, so I have you know undistracted work around the house to get taken care of. But have some tunes going. Probably not on in here with the records, but we'll be streaming a lot just to get through the day. Just gotta tear out a bunch of stuff. Uh, got a closet that we're gonna be redoing. Two closets we're gonna be redoing, and yeah, just the prep of it. Thankfully, we got a couple guys that we hired that are gonna be doing all the work. I'm just helping with the prelim- uh, preliminary stuff. I can speak. I know English. So who's there? I see people popping in and out, but I don't see any comments. So please say something if you're there. Even if it's just hi, whatever. But yeah, music talk. I don't know when Steve and I are gonna be doing our oh, didn't mean to do that. We're gonna be doing a live stream. We were supposed to be doing a review of The Revenge of Alice Cooper, which I know is probably weeks and weeks late compared to everyone else. But I think we feel that hey Mark, um well, head to bed, get a good night's sleep. Still hopefully you get a long weekend. Yeah, I just you know, highlight you there. Thank you, sir. Um, yeah, saw that the package is on its way here. Thank you again. Looking forward to seeing that. Um, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I too have a long weekend. I was gonna try to volunteer and work on Monday, but yeah, it's just so much to do around this house. I couldn't take the time to do that. So um, yeah, I'd love to make that extra money. Um, it's basically triple time on Monday, but yeah, I don't have the time to do it. Otherwise, I would. But yeah, let's see, music wise. Oh yeah, I was saying Steve and I were going to be doing the live stream soon. I don't know when. Um, our our schedules are just kind of chaotic right now. With his, eventually moving out of state and taking care of that stuff. I think he's trying to, whittle down what they're going to be taken out of state. Here, we, like I said, we got these renovations that's going to be taking place. So just trying to clean up before these guys start putting in the new floors, and they're gonna be painting here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. Our reviews are, we've been sitting with it for a while now. We've listened to it many times. A lot of these reviews you see are they listen to it once or twice maybe, and then they review it. We've been obviously sitting with this for a few weeks now, so um, I've honestly changed my mind on many of the songs from when I first heard it. So I don't want to say my thoughts on them because I want to save it um, for the live stream and talk about it then. But yeah, it was one of those albums I was really, really looking forward to. I really do. That lineup is just amazing. Yeah, I try not to watch any reviews um, when when it was coming out, or because I got it the day it came out. I got it in the mail. Luckily, Steve, he turned me on Amazon. It was for like $18 because it was originally like for just the black vinyl. I think it was like 30, and he sent the crew a, not a link, but he's just saying, hey, it's for $18 right now. So I jumped on that. Um, I mean, I just get the black standard stuff. I mean, the other one was yellow, so it's not that big of a deal color wise. I mean, color's nice, but it's not necessary. As Mazzy would say, it's all about the music, stupid. So, um, yeah, here's to my buddy Mike Champagne. Oh, okay. Yeah, $18 for oh, something got knocked over. I had stuff stacked on the bed there, and the dogs are jumping up there and knocking some shit over. Um, but yeah, I didn't think you knew a Dan with two N's. But yeah, $18 for the album. That's a good deal. I mean, that's a good deal for any album, dude. It is too late. Here, let's see. There we go. Did order the Megadeth Killing reissue. Yes, cool. Yeah, I think it's the silver one that they got available. There was a gold one uh, on the website, but something that stuck with me that Melinda Murphy said a while back that the metallic looking albums, be it gold or silver, sometimes they get a lot more surface noise. And I don't know if that, kind of projects in my listening. If I hear something different, though I do have to say, like, the Phantomime from Ghost, I got the gold one of that, and the God, I want to say it's We Don't Need Another Hero. It just sounds like garbage. It was just pressed badly. So I don't know if it's because it's the gold stuff. I might try to find just a standard black. Maybe it sounds better, but it just sounds really distorted. I mean, and it shouldn't, because it's an EP. It's not like it's a compression thing. Dude, hey, I'm gonna take that ball away. But so yeah, I'm looking forward to that Megadeth coming out, and just curious of what mix they're going to be using, because that Final Kill, that's the one to listen to. That one's amazing sounding. So yeah, Mark and I we talked about that last weekend, was it? So, but yeah, I got that on pre-order. I got the new Biohazard on pre-order, and then I pre-ordered what is it? I got coming up. No, not that. Where are my orders at? Orders. From this all-girl punk band called Die Spitz, Something to Consume. So really, really good punk band. So some nice titles for Rocktober coming too. Yeah, I saw JC rattling off those titles. Nothing that super grabbed me. I love having dogs. And then I heard him say, "Oh, Typo Negative," thinking it was going to be World Coming Down. That's the only one I need. No, it's the least worst of. Yeah, Die Spitz. Yeah, the really cool band I just discovered probably about 6 months ago. Yeah, they got a album coming out on Third Man, so looking forward to that. Yeah, Typo Negative. Yeah, they're putting out that least worst of, like, kind of greatest hits compilation, which I had on CD when it came out. I mean, it's okay, but it's just like the edited versions of their songs. So if you have the albums, and then they got like a different version of Black Sabbath, different lyrics on there. So I don't know. I'm gonna pass on it. I don't need it whatsoever. So that was kind of disappointing. Yeah, single versions. Yeah, the radio video edits of those songs. So yeah, not necessary. I got everything, and like I said, all I need is World Coming Down, and unless it got released, and I didn't know about it, and so I missed out. But it seems like everything else is kind of readily available. I see all the other stuff out there all the time, just that one. Yeah, it'd be great to have that so I can just complete that that catalog. You know, with October coming up around the corner, it's time for some typo. Yeah, single versions of typo negative, right? But I mean, their songs are like 7 to 10 minutes long, so for radio and video, they do need to have it down, pared down to about 5 minutes. So yeah, they have to chop off quite a bit. So, who are the other two people watching? I see three. Chime on in, please. Say hi, say hello. And if it's people that I actually know, I will send a link. I am not doing the public one. My buddy Sam got duped into that and had some jerk off infiltrate, figuratively and literally. Yeah, there's lots. Let's see, I think they're mostly double, and I think one of them's triple. I want to say Life is Killing Me is triple. Maybe Dead Again. Shit, let me look. Hang on. Luckily, they're all grouped together. Okay. I know it's a different appearance. I'm at my wife's desk. So, here's everything. So, we got Slow, Deep, and Hard. This is just dull. This is like the standard green with some black smoke to it. Get this out of the way here. Followed by one of my personal favorites, Origin of the Feces, the fake live album. This is more like a greenish blue turquoise. Like that one. Bloody Kisses. This one took a while to receive. I ordered it and through Revolver magazine, and this was the special red one that they were only making a little bit. This is a double, and that's pretty much the album that broke them. Followed by October Rust. And this is a double, and this was their real exclusive Voodoo Orange. I think that was the one that they made the least amount copies of. Followed by Life is Killing Me, and this one must be a triple because I have to have them in a separate separate envelope. Yeah, this is a separate envelope. Separate sleeve. Yeah, this is a triple. It's on green. So the third disc is all bonus tracks. Out of Fire, Kane's Theme, Suspended in Dusk, Blood and Fire, Out of the Ashes mix, Cinnamon Girl, Extended Depression mix, Black Sabbath standard version, which is from the Nativity in Black one, and Haunted Perversion. Get it? Yeah, Bloody Kisses. That's pretty much when I discovered him when that came out. And then finally is Dead Again. Yeah, this one's a triple two, and the last disc. I must have the albums in there somewhere else. The last disc is 6 songs live. So what you got? Everything Dies, My Girlfriend's Girlfriend, Black Sabbath intro going into Christian Woman, Love You to Death, Black Number One, and Anesthesia. So I believe they're all from the Vakin in 2007. So there's my typo collection, all of it except for World Coming Down. So that's the one I need. And like I said, I don't need that least worst of. So kind of pointless to have. So what we got here? It's 10:05. So that is what, 1 in the morning your area? Well, thank you, sir. All I did was buy him. Another band here. Do you have Angel Dust on vinyl? Like Faith No More or Angel Dust? Or the band Angel Dust? Is there? I'm sure there is a band called Angel Dust. It wouldn't surprise me. Because yeah, there's the Faith No More album. Yes, Faith No More. Yeah, I got all the Faith No More on vinyl. In fact, we were talking about it just the other day. God, years ago, I did a ranking video on Faith No More, and it got some views, and then it went dormant, and then all of a sudden, it just got some traction. It was weird, and one of the commenters, and this blew my mind, was Matt Wallace. Now, if that name's not familiar, if you have any Faith No More albums, with the exception of Album of the Year, Matt produced all those albums. So that was really cool to get a comment from him. Oh, really? Oh, man. That sucks. Yeah, mine is, here, let me put these back. Where are we at? Here. Let's grab. Let's just show off catalogs. Got here. Yeah. So, yes, Scott, We Care a Lot. This is the special reissue with the second disc to it. Introduce Yourself. This is actually all of these except for We Care a Lot and Soul Invictus. They're all the music on vinyl pressing. So Introduce Yourself. Real Thing. The aforementioned Angel Dust. Double disc. Here's a double disc. Fool for a Day, or King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. Album of the Year, and Soul Invictus. Yeah, when I did my ranking, this was dead last. And I gave my reasonings. I don't think it was an unfair thing, because I mean, if you're doing a ranking, there's got to be something that's in last. But so yeah, you're talking about angel dust. So yeah, like I said, it's music on vinyl on here. That's the thing with music on vinyl. I really don't like these sealable sleeves here. But it's double disc. It's on black. Simple, no color. Yeah, all the labels are blue. It does contain. Is it on here? RV, the Midnight Cowboy. Oh, okay. So after Midnight Cowboy, it has a hidden track of Easy on there. So only 9 tracks. So I wonder what 9 that they have. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Holy shit. You got a lot. There's a lot missing on there. Yeah, these sleeves are awful. But yeah, it's a nice glossy gatefold. So yeah, I actually haven't. I don't think I played any Faith No More in a really long time, even though they're like in my top 5 bands of all time. Missing RV, missing Breeze. I don't know what Breeze is. But yeah, this was the nice thing with bands with small catalogs. They're easy to knock them out. So I'm glad I got them when I did, because some of these are very hard to find anymore. So I don't think they're going to be doing anything else. I think Faith No More is no more. To tell you the truth, and to be quite honest, it doesn't bother me that that they're done. I would rather a band go out, not necessarily on top. They were never really on top, but you know, leave when they were still good. I remember seeing them on the Album of the Year tour, and I thought they looked tired. I thought that they looked like they didn't want to be there. Hey, Brian. Nice to see you, brother. How are things in Tokyo? Let's see. Oh, my connection. Okay, Easy. Okay. Yeah, well, Easy was never really on the album in the first place. That was a single, really. But yeah, that sucks that Unofficial has um a bunch of songs. Hey, Brian, if you're up for it, I could try to connect. I can give you a link through. I don't know, maybe through Instagram. I could try. It's just I'm not. Well, shoot, why not? I can. Yeah, saying hi to Brian. There we go. I believe it was on one of my cassettes. Oh, okay. But yeah, Brian, I can see if I can send you a link. Maybe hang out for a little bit. But like I said, I don't want to put the link in the comments, because I just don't want to get infiltrated by you know, unwanted, if you know what I mean. So let me try something real quick here. Let's see. See if I can do invite, copy. I'm going to email it to myself. Or let's see. Let me try this. I gotta go through all these different channels to see if I can figure this out. Or let's see. Copied. Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can. Let's see, copy link. And let's get on some Instagram here. Tokyo. How am I doing this? Hang on. Tokyo record style. There we go. All right. Send to your Instagram. See, I'm gonna check out. Sorry, take care. All right, Mark. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. So hopefully that link hits your mailbox soon on the Insta. But yeah, it's just after what happened to Sam, I gotta watch what's going on around here. On the lives. It's it's unfortunate that there's some people out there that just want to screw things up for everyone else. So, but yeah, glad there's some people up this late. I mean, well, it's only 10:15 where I'm at, but the nice part of being on the west coast of the states, especially when Super Bowl's going on, that's awesome because then it's over at like 7:30 at night. So things like that are the advantages of being on the west coast. Let's see. Here we go.
Hey, man.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
In person. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
trying to. My phone, for some reason, won't turn. That's bizarre. Huh, I
Yeah.
got the. What's up with
Sometimes
that?
on the phones um it's like once you start it on vertical, it's hard to get out of it. See.
Well, bummer. Maybe. Well, I'd pop out and pop back in, but I'll just
Yeah.
leave it. Leave
It's
it.
all right. I mean, this is an impromptu thing. This isn't anything like official.
Yeah, man. Good on you. I don't know if the time difference is like a thing that makes me not see regular streams from you, but it's nice to see you on here for I think maybe first time. How's it go, Trevor? Right? It's Trevor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Good to see you. Yeah.
Nice too. Yeah, it's just my wife and daughter are out of town. I've been busting my ass around this house all day, and I just don't feel like going out. But I like to hang out with people.
Right on.
So this is I've done this many times where I invite friends over, and it's just like, you know, it's it's kind of like the digital version of like coming over and hanging out in the kitchen and having a couple drinks and just shooting the shit.
Right on. Yeah, I just was making lunch, and I just was kind of flipping through the thing, and I'm gonna I'm gonna pop a squat here
There
if I
you
can get a little system going. And yeah, I just saw you, and I was like, oh, I know that name.
go.
And yeah, cool, man. Yeah, so you're in Tacoma, right? Is that right?
Yeah, just east of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I
Yeah.
have my daughter's sitting right over here, or I might disclose that I have a very old I have a very like elementary school first, a girl from camp memory, and her and Tacoma is like I've often gone on Facebook and been like Nicole Tacoma and haven't quite ever found her again. But yeah,
Right.
that's my memory of Tacoma. I also have been I have a great memory of now. Do Tacoma people? Is Tacoma like? Is it is it at all considered like is it like how often do you go to Seattle? How close? You're quite close. You're basically next door to Seattle, right?
It's for me, it's about a 45-minute drive to Seattle. Not too bad. I
Because that
mean, I
seems rather close to me.
yeah.
In Tokyo, it's like 45 minutes just to get anywhere. It's like it's but so 40. So does that mean you go there on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, or is it
It
not?
it just depends on what's going on. It's something that I really want to do. It has to be going on if I'm going to go into Seattle anymore. I used to love going up there. It's just it's in my
What's the
opinion.
difference? What are some of the main sort of like just what are the vibe differences between Tacoma and is it like Seattle light? Is it like more manageable, more neighborhoody, more
Yeah,
is it like
yeah, exactly. And I mean, when we first moved here, because we moved here from Michigan, that's where I'm
okay.
originally from. We moved here 15 years ago, and Tacoma was, it was all right, not much going on. And in the last, say, 5 6 years, there's well, obviously minus the COVID time, but it seemed like Tacoma was really trying to liven up, have a nightlife, just more restaurants put in. Um, there's a really cool area. There's a street. I really wish I could remember the name of the street, but they kind of dubbed it Antique Row. So all it is antique shops, which is kind of
Oh.
cool. Um,
Is the mayor, do you know who the mayor is? Is it a young guy or an old young gal or is it an older guy or older gal? Do you even know?
Unfortunately, I have no idea. I don't pay it, and I know this is awful. I don't pay attention to
Sorry to put you on the spot.
grown level politics, and I really should. Um,
Yeah. No, the
it,
reason I ask is because I guess that Tacoma is probably roughly the same size as my hometown, which is Tulsa,
okay.
and they have. I'm guessing this might be happening in like a lot of cities in across the country, but um, all the I'm guessing that there's young mayors coming up around, and they're like they want to put their city on the map, and they want to like do a new thing, and they want to attract some young blood, and they want to
Yeah.
say that it's like hip and families love it here, and young people and attract them, and so on. And not that that's unique to young mayors, but I think like when you hear about these like downtowns that people left in the 80s, for the suburbs, now they all are like, look at our awesome downtown. It's just filled with like troublemakers and it's not a good vibe. Let's build some stuff down here and make it nice again. And I think that a lot of the maybe older guard of the cities are realizing they're not going to be able to die with all their money, and
Mhm.
maybe they're putting it in the hands of the next um, wave of city planners and city builders, and then imaginative young people. I'm guessing. I don't know. I see like
Yeah.
I hear about these stories like besides the like we have a I think it's quite old now, but we have like one bar. Or, I say we. I mean my hometown where I haven't lived in like 30 years, but they have like an adult like arcade. They have like
Hmm.
an adult. place where you go drink beer and you play like Galaga and Pac-Man, and then they have
Yeah.
like a bowling alley version and a go-kart version, and they have, you guys have some of that kind of stuff?
Well, we have arcades here. I mean, it's all ages, but they serve drinks too.
Okay,
Obviously,
right,
for age appropriate. Um, and yeah, they got all the old school stuff. They got some new stuff. Um, there's one in the town I live in now. They just opened up an arcade a couple years ago. It's okay. I haven't gone there a whole lot. But what you're saying about these cities that were like run down and now trying to revitalize, my not that I grew up in this city, but I was out in the suburbs. But my hometown, Detroit, is a prime example
sure.
of
Detroit, you're from Detroit, nice.
yeah. Well, and it's always been known Detroit was rough and tumble. I mean, downtown right now is fantastic. I've been there, a couple times the last few years, and it's really cool to hang out in downtown Detroit. I mean, the hood is still the hood, and that's like that in every major city.
Right.
But yeah, downtown Detroit has really been revitalized, and every time I go back, I try to go downtown just to do something.
Right. What about the record store scene? You said Arcata is the town you're in, or no? You're in Tacoma proper. Or you said you're
No,
outside of Tacoma.
I'm in a town called Puyallup. Don't try
Okay.
to
Oh,
spell it.
Puyallup. Harry's music room is around
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
right?
yeah, he lives probably. I could drive to his house in less than 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's
I've
come
been
to
there.
Japan in a little bit,
Oh,
very
is he?
little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm gonna. Well, he's on a tight schedule, but I hope we get a chance to connect. He's on a cruise, and I see these cruises that come around Japan. You want to get
Mm.
that? Um,
Yeah, he's a
can you
good
sign?
guy.
Sorry, somebody's at my door. Can you sign for that? Okay. Um, yeah, but are there record stores like are there new? Yeah, is there a new record store, or is it the same old place that like has been there for a long, long, long time?
In Tacoma?
Well, I don't know, like around the region, around the area, are there
Well,
new
I
places
mean,
popping up?
yeah, I mean, actually, here in Puyallup, there's one. I think she's on her third year here.
Okay,
It's a
yeah,
small one.
good.
I mean, downtown Puyallup is a rather tiny town, but the fact that we actually have a record store, um, and we have an antique mall that has like a record store section there.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I mean it's all right. But in Tacoma, there's high voltage records, which I did. I think my last RSD.
Is
Um,
that where you went with your daughter?
no, not
That
that
was in
one.
Seattle.
Yeah, that was Father's Day.
Yeah, Father's Day. Sorry, Father's Day.
That's
Yeah.
right. No, but that's up in West Seattle. Easy Street Records. That's like the big famous one in
Okay.
Seattle. They're really associated with the guys in Pearl Jam, like
Okay.
Mike McCready specifically. Um,
I think your kid and my kid are somewhere in this ballpark, and they probably could get along. Maybe someday we'll. Who knows? We'll find
maybe
ourselves. Yeah.
it's.
That's
I don't hear my kid playing her records that often, which is fine.
right.
But when I do, it
Yeah.
just like, you know.
You see that Leonardo DiCaprio scene from Hollywood, the Hollywood movie, and when the little girl, she's like, "That was the best." You know the scene, right? Do you know the scene?
Are you talking about
And that, yeah,
the
what's it called?
Hollywood one?
Yeah.
The Quentin Tarantino. No, I haven't seen it actually.
Oh, you got to see it. It's great, but there's just a viral meme. I never know really what to do with that. My parents were always like, "Did you see the commercial with the thing and the thing?" I'm like, "No, I didn't." Did you see the commercial? No, I didn't. I didn't see it. Anyway,
Yeah,
um,
I don't really watch movies
me
or
too. Me
television.
too.
I mean, this isn't like a hipster thing. Like, I don't watch television. It's just like
Sure. Yeah.
I either A don't have the time or
Time, yeah.
frankly attention span to watch a story arc. But
Right.
I'll watch a documentary, no problem, which is weird.
Right.
Like I'll sit through like on Netflix, and I don't know how it is in Japan with the Netflix
We
or
have it all. We sometimes they have like regional licensing sort of stuff, and I don't get
right.
everything, but we can basically get all the same stuff. Although they translate things and they subtitle, and like for whatever reason it's slow. So like that Bob Dylan movie, for example, like we didn't get that like 6 months later. Like Spider-Man will come out on the same day, like worldwide or something like that. But you often have to wait like 6 months, and the wave of interest has already passed by the time it gets to Tokyo. Sometimes,
Okay.
but sometimes, not all the. I'd say more frequently they come out at the same time.
Um.
No,
Oh.
dang it! I ordered something very strange, and they sent me the wrong thing. I'm ordering. I have. Hold on. I've got yellow ones, and now I've got red ones. So I'm. Have you seen? I
Oh
want to talk. Have you seen my man on the street things?
no, not yet. No, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
I've
haven't.
got this like man on the street thing that I'm doing. I'm like, hey, records did you buy, right?
Yeah.
And I the and I ordered. I have this kind of like silly logo that's it's like a smiley face, but on the smiley, the smile is a tone arm, like on a record player.
Yeah.
And I want to put it on a mic. I want to make my own. So and they don't make them in yellow. They're like have a nice day.
Yeah.
Shit
Yeah.
happens.
So you
Face,
want
right?
to get a yellow windscreen?
Yeah. So I bought yellow ones 3 days ago. Spent like entirely too much on them, and then I ordered. They were too small, so I ordered bigger ones. But they came in red. They were supposed to be yellow.
Are you able to
I
send
guess
them
so.
back?
It's this new company called Tao. It's like it's like a new Timo. You know Timo, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like a new version of Timo, and it's like 50% off. Yeah, Alibaba. Okay, it's a new Alibaba's new something or other. Anyway, gonna have to send them back. Get them me the. Dang it, that's annoying. Well, at least they were only like $2, so
Yeah.
so it's okay.
That
And
works
maybe I
out.
can find something else to do with them. But custom microphone uh windsock things. Are they big
Yeah.
enough? I think they're actually not big enough. I need to work on them. Anyway,
So that's an
um
interesting looking microphone. It's like flat.
well, this thing is one of those, so I'll tell you a little bit. Like I have a photography background, and I've
Mhm.
never been like a video guy really until the last 4 or 5 years. And all these people are saying like, oh, everybody wants videos, and can you do videos, and what kind of videos do you do, and like where can we see your reels, and I'm just like I really kind of came up in like uh just portraiture and photography, and I like video was just like I've played with video, but it's like it's too many options, right? It's like so many infinite possibilities. And like photography, just still photography has like it also has like all these levers, but they're not infinite, sort of less infinite than. But after starting the channel, I got really into like the same excitement that I have for photography has now gotten a lot into like videography and like video storytelling. But I was like, I wanted to get. So I keep getting little gizmos that are like, oh, let's try a gimbal, and I try like a gimbal, and then I'm like, actually, this gimbal sucks. It's hard. Like, how do you use this thing, right? It's like impossibly hard to use. I don't know if you've ever tried like a gimbal.
No, I mean, a selfie stick is about as far as I went.
Right, right. So I think I got the selfie stick, and then I was like, the phone and the selfie stick just was like, it was like I would go back and rewatch these things, and I'd be like, it's hard to watch. Like, I should get one of those gimbals. Then I got the
Right.
gimbal, the selfie stick, and then I was like, I'd meet people and I'd be like, "Oh, hold on, I gotta show you something," or like, "Oh, let me add you on the Insta." I'm like, "Oh no, wait, my camera's going. I can't do it because I'm using it right now."
Hmm.
And so then I was like, "Okay, well then I'll do a different thing," and then I got a different thing, and then another thing, and then now I'm one of these guys who's like, I've got all these like gizmos, all this, like like this kind of thing. Like I got a millions of like these little widgets, you know,
Yeah.
whatever they are, camera things and tripod things and wires and cables and but why was I talking? Oh, so then they say, you know, about like movies. Like remember Blair Witch Project?
Yeah.
Like Blair Witch Project was shot on like the crappiest camera that like money could buy, but it
Well,
had like a really great soundtrack. Like it had a really great audio track. Like the audio was professional quality. And
okay.
the reason that you can watch Blair Witch Project and like be captivated by it is because you're allowed to have crappy video, but you're not allowed to have crappy audio. Crappy audio is unwatchable.
Right.
And crappy video is tolerable if the sound is okay, they say basically. That's like a long understood thing.
Right. And plus, the aesthetic of that video with the
Yeah,
storyline, it
right.
works.
It
But
served
if,
it.
but,
Yeah.
but if you can't hear what's going on,
No, it
you
would be.
miss so much. Yeah.
And
That.
starts imagine like a Superman movie or even like a YouTube video where it's just like the audio is off. It's like I want to watch this, but I can't. I can't listen to it. I can't. I just
Yeah.
can't.
That was such
So
a clever marketing thing with that movie. I mean, that's purely what it was. I mean, and they made, I mean, like a thousandfold of what it cost them to make that movie. And at the time, I was working at a record store, and it's funny, there was a soundtrack to that movie,
really, I didn't know
but
about that.
here's the thing: it's funny. There's no music in that movie, so
Interesting.
but the soundtrack is the mixtape that they found along with
Oh my
the
gosh.
videotape. So again, marketing. And
Good job, guys. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like these YouTube videos that we make, I mean, I feel like they're some of them, I mean, certainly, I mean, I've made a couple that have been over, you know, actually numerous that have been hours long, not like live streams, but like, you
Mhm,
know, videos that took me 3 weeks or, you know, 3 months or what, like some of them have, they take long, you know, sometimes you feel like I could make you know, give me a couple years, I could make one of these, you know, I could make a
mhm.
Blair Witch Project. And I mean, maybe that's delusions of grandeur, but it kind of feels like that. And anyway, the microphone thing, I got the microphone, the little ones that you see the guys wearing on the shirts,
Yeah,
yeah.
the lavalier, yeah.
And then no, not the lavalier. It's like the little Bluetooth one. It's in the
Oh,
car,
yeah, with the little fuzzy thing with
the
the
little fuzzy
battery.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, you take that off and you stick it on this,
Oh,
and
okay.
then you stick this on top of it.
Oh, okay.
And then it becomes a Bluetooth mic, but you do this rather than have it here, and it's kind of like it where it's like you know, it's so
Yeah.
that's the gimmick. And then like I got these things too. I mean, this is the kind of like I got the this little
Oh,
silly thing, you know. This again, like this was $2 or whatever it was. It was like not cost next to nothing from one of these sort of Temu companies, and this is called like a mic flag, I think it's called, you know, and
something like that. Yeah.
you put the little gizmo on there, and then you're suddenly professional, and I'm vlogging from the streets of Tokyo, and like, look at me, go, right?
Yeah.
So now I want to get the yellow, I want to get my stickers on here and my yellow one. So it's just a little, I just, you know, every little one, I mean, it's funny, like I mean, Mr. Beast's whole thing is like, or anybody who's like having any bit of success on these things, they just say, just make it a little bit better, just, you know, a little bit better than the last time or learn from. So I'm just, it's one of my little incremental, you know, it's like, oh, I should get the mic. I should get one of those silly microphone things. And by the way, if you want one, I don't need two, you know, or yeah, anyway, I've got, I need to give some away because, so it's funny because like this thing is like sometimes depending on which ones you order, you know, it's like they're like $2 and then it's like $1.50 with the thing, you know, it's like I don't need the thing, but I don't want to pay the $2. So
Right.
anyway. Yeah, so that was what was at the door, the red ball, the little, so I couldn't find the yellow one, so I ordered I couldn't find yeah, I couldn't anyway. Yeah, just trying to do that. So, tell me like what was on that I think I remember what did you score on that record store day run? Or like what is like tell me about I want to know about your musical taste a little bit. I don't feel like I tell me give me like remind me what's your main sort of genres? Who are some of your favorite bands? I just want to kind of like if you
Okay.
don't mind, if you'll indulge me a little bit,
No,
yeah.
I'm I'm a
You're
total metal guy.
right on.
So,
Okay.
Black
What's your
Sabbath,
first metal touch? Who's your first touch of metal?
Black Sabbath. Well, I
Okay.
mean, if you want to go back a bit further, I guess Kiss was my intro to it, but I mean, they're more rock and roll. But
Who
in
introduced you to that?
1976, I'm sorry.
You 1976. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, well, in 1976, I mean, that's kind of metal in a
Yeah.
way. That's when
Sure.
I first discovered them. Alice Cooper. But yeah, and I've told this chestnut many times where my uncle took me to see opening weekend the movie Heavy Metal,
Right
the
on.
animated feature, and
Yeah.
that's my first time hearing Black Sabbath, the song Mob Rules, and I
Okay.
had never heard anything that hard and heavy up until that point, and I was in hook, line, and sinker from that point on. So,
Wow.
but you expand over the years. I mean, us music lovers, we can't be just down one avenue. We have to take all the side streets and
Yeah.
check out other things.
I just was listening to an Incubus interview this morning, and he was talking about how he has all these influences. Remember Incubus is still around. You remember Incubus? You know
Yeah,
Incubus.
yeah.
He's an interesting character, and he's got all this musical influence that you do not hear in Incubus. So yeah, it's interesting all the well sources of everything. What about how about Japan metal? Like Japan's like got some crazy um like I don't even know what the like subgenres of the metal are, or who the biggest like players are, but like, I mean, there's baby metal, which is so popular right now. But who are the most famous Japanese metal guys?
Well, like Loudness,
Loudness, right?
um,
Loudness is
I
huge.
which I never really got into.
Okay,
Um,
because it's like Shibuya K is this sort of subgenre of like pop culture, which is like where they dress up like I don't did loudness. I don't can't even remember what loudness looked like. They look like metal guys. They didn't look
they,
anything.
they they look like hair metal guys
Right,
circa 1984. That's what the time was.
but there's these
Um,
other guys who are like wearing the costumes and the helmets, and they're like, there's a whole subgenre of that. I don't even know if you know, but it's
I,
like,
no, out of the Japanese stuff, I mean, I got an album probably 20 years ago. This band called Deer in Gray, I want to say.
don't know.
Um, I mean, they got played on a Sirius XM. That's how I discovered them.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not really familiar with the Japanese. Okay, there's another. Let's see, Boris, because they're more like on the doom
Doom metal.
metal. I mean, from what I recall, they're the ones that have like the 45 beats per minute, type.
I think I've seen a few of these bands. There was this Italian outfit from like Genoa. I think they're called Godzilla was too drunk to destroy Tokyo. That's the name of their band. God, they're like an indie, but like what are they like? They're like sludge metal maybe.
Okay,
Is that is I don't know. That's something like that. I think
okay,
they call themselves sludge metal or something. And it's slow, but it's not so slow. But it's like I went and saw them, and there was a band that played before them. I think they go down as the loudest band I've ever heard ever in my whole entire life. The
wow,
loudest band. Yeah, it was pretty like I didn't. I really regretted not wearing. Didn't even think to like. I don't go see so many shows, and if I go see shows, I almost never go see. I mean, I only a funny story. I've when I was like 12 years old, my dad took us to the basketball, like I think like a sort of like a minor league basketball team that played in Tulsa. I forgot who they even were. but we showed up and like everybody walking into the concert had like mohawks and black studded leather jackets, and we were like terrified. We were like 10 and
What?
11 years old. It turned out it was a Pantera concert, and like
Uh,
my dad got the date wrong or something like that.
uh,
But that's happened like 3 or 4 more times. I've accidentally like ended up at some metal show that I didn't really anticipate going to, but I was so uh unprepared for how loud it was going to be, and like everybody had earplugs, and I was just like, oh, and they're like, you didn't bring any earplugs, and I'm like, no, and they're like, you definitely, if you're coming to this venue and you know the bands that are going to be playing at this venue, earplugs are essential. And I was like, thank God I had my like AirPods. Like they proved to be like just enough of a shield to like I
yeah.
think probably save my ears.
Okay.
Do you wear ear? Do you go to shows still? Do you go to metal shows? Do you
Oh,
ever wear headphone earplugs?
oh yeah. I usually buy like a surplus of them, and I bring the whole thing with me because I'll be with someone, and
Okay.
they'll be like, "Hey, I forgot to bring earplugs." I'm like, "Don't worry, I have this huge sack of them." um, but yeah, because I mean, the shows I like to go to are mostly in clubs, you know.
Right?
Uh,
Loud. Yeah.
so in the confined area, of course, it's gonna be louder than if you're in the big arena or stadium.
Right.
Um, which is funny because I hate stadium gigs, but I went to two in the last year.
Okay.
So,
Who'd you go see?
um, well, it was this weekend last year. I took my daughter to see Metallica,
Oh, nice. Okay.
and they did like a no repeat weekend, so we did both nights.
Okay. I remember that going around.
And
They were supporting the yellow record that came
yeah,
out. Right?
the 72 seasons. And I did not plan on seeing them because I saw them a bunch of times way back in the day. The last time I saw them, they were promoting their covers record, and they were only doing, I think, 5 dates, and they were all theaters. And I went to one of those, and so I got to see them in a 3,000 seat theater,
Wow. Wow.
doing all covers. And I'm like, that was like my 10th
Doing
or
all doing all covers?
yeah, because that was
Covers
the,
of
the that was the album they were promoting, was a thing called Garage Inc., and it was all covers. So
what?
they
I didn't
did
hear about
those.
that.
Yeah, so it was such a unique show, and I had seen them a bunch of times, in the 80s and 90s. That I'm like, this is the last time I'm going to see these guys. You
Right.
know, so because they can't top the show. That show was so unique. I don't need to
Right.
see him again. And until many years later, my daughter asked, "Hey, can we go see Metallica?" And I'm like, "Am I going to say no?" So,
Right.
and then earlier this spring, I flew back home to Detroit and saw AC/DC. So,
Nice.
which, I mean, it was good, not great,
Sure.
but it was. If it was the last time seeing them, it was a good show.
Good, man. That's a good, yeah, that's a bucket list. Both of them, but yeah, that's what that would be a bucket list for me. Amazing. Like I have to say, like, I'm not a metal guy at all, but I grew up. I mean, I'm 48, almost 49. I graduated in 95.
Hmm.
Like everybody's older brother, like Black probably came out like what year did that? Is that like 93, 90?
What the Black
The
Album?
Black Album, yeah.
Yeah, that was 91.
91, really? Okay, so yeah, that must have been like I was a freshman in high school when that came out.
Okay.
And that was like, everybody's older brother had the 3 or 4 records before that.
Mhm.
And they were like, they were already like, you know, but like that was like what I'm trying to say is like my introduction to metal was basically anything. Like I didn't have, there was no older brothers and there was no other uncles, and there was
Mhm.
no, it was only like either MTV or whatever, or what little was on the radio. But that album went, super mega crazy huge,
Right.
and it was like you inescapable, right? But and then AC/DC, again, like another band that had like decades of history before I ever got to them, or they got to me. But by that time, like I don't know what year, what's his name? Malcolm. What year is who's Angus's brother? Who died? Who
Yeah, Malcolm.
yeah, what did he die? He died in like who?
Uh,
When did Brian May or not Brian May? Brian, what's his name?
Brian
What's his name?
Johnson.
Brian Johnson. When did he? What year did he join ACDC?
He joined in 1980, like months
Okay, so
after Bon
Bon
Scott died.
Scott.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like,
Bon Scott.
yeah,
Wait,
they did
Malcolm. Wait,
everything.
wait, wait. Okay, now I was getting Bon Scott and Malcolm confused. Hold on, hold on. Who is Malcolm? Remind me. Just
Malcolm
sorry.
is Angus's brother, and he
Bro,
really wrote the lion's share of the
the
songs.
songs. Okay, and
Um,
Bonds was their cousin or something, or he was in
no,
their
Bon
family,
was their just their, well, not their
their friend,
first lead singer, but yeah, it was just. In
their
fact,
friend. Okay.
he started off as their driver, and then ended up as their singer.
Oh wow, the
They had a
story.
singer
Wow.
prior to Bon Scott. I think they only released a single with this other singer, but then Bon joined, and then got on the first album proper, and a few after that.
And Malcolm hung on for quite a while, right?
Yeah, and then he dropped out. I don't know, like 10 years ago,
Okay,
for health reasons, which turned out to be
fatal. He
dementia.
died.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, he died
Oh,
around 2017, I want to say
okay.
2018. But yeah, it's from dementia he had.
I listened to Angus talk about him in an interview I'm sure you've seen, but he's so sentimental about his brother.
Mhm.
And something about like those guys, I don't know, like especially this Aussie thing that just happened, like all these guys who were supposed to be like the face and voice of metal, they're all like little sweetie pies on the inside. It's quite funny, right?
Yeah, it's and with ACDC, I mean, with the exception of Angus and Brian Johnson, the rest of the guys really took a back seat. They didn't want the
Okay,
spotlight on him. I mean,
right,
even in performing, like when Malcolm, he would just stay behind by his
right,
amps and just play. There was no show with him, and that's what I
right,
liked about that band. Most of the band, they just jeans, t-shirt. They're up on stage. They didn't have to be flamboyant. They got this lead guitarist out there going nuts out there, and
right,
a really good front man.
right.
What else do you need? So
Well, Brian Johnson also, like, I love listening to him talk about. He's got like a, I don't know if from what little I've seen about him, he has a humility about filling those shoes.
yeah, yeah.
And I feel like I mean I he's really the only AC/DC that I kind of know, really. I mean I know the albums, but I can't even I can picture Bon Scott just in my mind's eye barely, but I can't like see him like Robert Plant or something. I can't just see him dancing on stages, and he just like isn't burned in my memory, and there isn't enough footage that I haven't watched it yet.
Mhm.
But like Thunderstruck is like another, like the Black Album, those two albums, like that was everywhere. And I know, like, again, Metallica had a whole what decade and a half before that record came out, and ACDC's got two decades, or if not two and a half decades before that they're that we ever got to that point. But then they did go everywhere, and then they were on MTV, and they were probably not even considered metal by this
No,
point,
no.
but
By the time the whole, like, well, at that time of Razor's Edge, which is where Thunderstruck's from.
Razor's Edge, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty much hard rock at that point, but a lot of the metal people still loved it.
So
You know,
this is an interesting phenomenon. I wonder if this is like Green Day did this, right? They kind of like went mainstream. Nirvana probably had to deal with this a little bit, but metal's a genre I feel like that you can like lose your streak, you can lose your credibility if you're
oh
not hard enough, right?
yeah, well, I mean, Metallica was a victim of that.
Right? Who
Even
else?
though they you know fill out huge venues,
Have they
And
been all vindicated in the end, or are are they all beloved and nobody cares and everybody's adults
you
and
know,
has families and
there's still a favorite of mine. But I am from that old school, like you were saying, when the Black album came out, the older brothers that you knew of, they
right?
where we
Like kill
had
them all. This is
those.
not.
Well, we had all those older albums, and that's what we knew. I bought that Black album the day it came out, and
You're
I'm
disappointed instantly.
I
No.
I was just like, all right,
Okay.
the next song's gonna be the fast one. Okay, no, the next one's gonna be the fast one. Shit, no, so. Um, I mean, I appreciate the album a lot more now, but back then it was just like, you know, it was disappointing. But then again, it was 1990, and there was a major shift in the harder edge music going on.
From what to what?
Well, I mean, everyone says like, Nirvana killed the whole metal thing. It's
Right.
like, no, and I will die on this hill. That was a media thing. It wasn't Nirvana themselves. It wasn't like they're like, our mission in life is to kill off this music. No, that
Sure.
they were just doing what they did. The media picked up on it and exposed it, and people fed on it. So that's what really happened. But I was also at that time, that's when I got into bands like Faith No More, which were at the
In
time a
living
bit more
color. Yeah.
strange compared to the normal metal stuff. Then that's when I also discovered a band like Ministry, um, and learning
Incredible
more.
musicians. Yeah.
Where that's when I got into industrial, because at the time they put out this live record, and I was looking at the lineup of that band that Al Jurgensen put together, because really Ministry at the time was really just two people. So they had all these other people from other bands form the live band. So that's how I discovered Skinny Puppy, because I didn't know Skinny Puppy, but Ogre from Skinny Puppy was part of the band. Um, I
Have I
knew.
told you that my neighbor has been a semi part of Skinny Puppy for years and years?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This Digiotto is his artist name. He's a
Okay.
producer, but he is like, I think Kevin K is like his best bud and has been for a
Okay.
long time. Yeah. And when Kevin comes out here, they're running around together and doing shows here. And he's on Skinny Puppy Records, and I don't know which ones he's on, but he's kind of in the second wave. He's in the second or third wave after they sort of after some. I don't know the history of Skinny Puppy, but I
Yeah.
know that when I found out our kids go to school together, and he's really tattooed and he's cool, and he looked at me and was like, "Oh, I think we should." And we're both from Denver, or both from, or we both have some Colorado connections,
Okay.
and he yeah, but he was like he made me he would we have totally different musical tastes, but like you, like I love I mean, I want to discover it all. I want to understand it. So I did do a big Skinny Puppy deep dive maybe a year ago, and I listened to like 6 or 7 like back to back Skinny Puppy records and EPs and side projects and all kinds
Yeah.
of interesting stuff. It was
Yeah.
well worthwhile deep dive.
Yeah. It's not an easily digestible catalog. um,
No, but there was some that I liked, some that I was like like exceeded, or how should I say, like, you know, like challenged my expectations,
mhm.
and like
Yeah.
some that I was like, oh, listen to this. There was another one actually. I thought I'd bring him up. There's a guy in Brazil you must know. I think he's in Brazil. He might be in Portugal, but he's a metal dude on YouTube. Gus 69. Do you know Gus?
No, I don't.
Get hooked up with Gus.
Okay.
He's a cool cat, and I think he's Portuguese, and he's back in Portugal, but I think he lived in Brazil for many many years. And he did the Japan vinyl tag, and all of his records were metal. And I went through his discography. Who did Marty Friedman play with?
Megadeth.
Megadeth.
At least that's the biggest thing he was in. Yeah.
So he left, or he lives in Japan,
Right.
and he's lived here for many years, and he's a cult of personality here. And I see him from time to time, and I'm like, oh, that's the Megadeth guy. I think
Yeah.
yeah. And um and like three of the records that Gus put on his uh, Japan vinyl tag list, which I put forth, were Marty Friedman records, and I went and like did a deep dive on Marty Friedman. Like, had no idea how much I would fall in love with his guitar
Mhm.
playing. He's amazing, and these
Yeah.
records that I thought were like gonna be metal records were not in the slightest. It was like listening to Ravel or Stravinsky or something. It was really fun and really
Mhm.
musical and gorgeous listening. So I definitely have enjoyed. I think metal actually happens to be my almost biggest blind spot. It really is, and so it's interesting to sit here and have a chat with you about it because I feel like maybe we can, maybe I can. It's
Well,
waiting for me. It's waiting for me. I feel
well, I
like.
mean, it's I know it's not for everybody. I mean, that was a great one of my greatest experiences, and I told stories about this place many many times. I worked at a record store for about 5 years in the '90s, and that was such a musical education.
I bet.
Oh my god, it's just there are so many things that I learned and heard that I really would have never have had I not worked there. And it really opened up my well, not opened up my eyes, opened my ears, my mind on different things. Come around in the '90s, that's when like trip hop first came around, and just hearing that, already kind of being in the industrial scene, it's electronic but a lot lighter and just different. A very cool out type music. I love listening to that stuff at night. um Jazz, I'm still, you know I can't even say I dipped my pinky toe in it yet. I mean, I've tapped the water a few times, but not because that kind of like metal. Jazz is so wide and varied that to pick one person is, I know everyone, the go to is usually Miles, but sometimes there's jazz that's more R&B. Sometimes there's jazz that's like way avant-garde. And so it's such a wide genre.
Yeah,
So
I think you have, like they say that, like, your fingerprint, on your guitar. Do you play an instrument?
I dabbled in guitar for a little bit, but yeah.
I'm not really a much of a player, but it's just like they always, there's that trope about like you have Jimi Hendrix's gear, or
Mhm.
Jimi Hendrix comes and plays, you know, anybody, Angus's guitar rig, and he sounds like Jimmy, or whoever we're talking about. It's
Yeah,
all in the fingers is basically what I'm talking about, or all,
yeah,
it's like everything has to do with the
the player.
individuality. But yeah, those jazz guys, like I can, I, I know people who listen to jazz and who are like, they know that they can hear I can't, to me, like I can, but like to distinguish the different drummers, to distinguish the different saxophonists, to distinguish the different bass players, it all kind of like blends itself a little bit too close together. Sometimes it'll stand out, and I'll know, like, something really frenetic might be this artist, and something more bluesy will be this artist. But um yeah, and you know what's kind of funny, I was thinking about, like, I've heard, like, I forget who it is, but I've seen these metal guys, they'll say like when they go home they listen to jazz, which I always
Mhm.
find kind of like interesting.
Sure.
And I hear people say things like, oh well, to calm down, like, I want to listen to like noise music or avant-garde music. That makes me, doesn't like wind me up, it makes me calm.
Right.
And speaking about trip hop, I listened to a Herbie record the other day, Herbie Hancock,
Yeah.
and I heard something that I was like, whoa, whoa, I know this. What is it? I definitely know this. What is this? And I looked it up, and it was called like it what was it called? It was called like Cantaloupe.
Okay.
And I was like, how do I, and I like looked it up. I like never seen this. I've seen the Herbie record, but I never owned it. I, I buy jazz records that I've like, I think I need to own that. I don't know what that is, but I've seen it 100 times and I know that I probably should get it. But I didn't really know this record, barely.
Okay.
And I was, and I just heard it, and then I heard, I couldn't figure out what it was. It was one of these like trip hop records that I found in the '90s that sampled this song, and the trip hop record probably made it more famous
Okay.
than
Yeah.
Herbie's version ever did. And we're even and like I'm wondering if like all this music that I'm not wondering. I'm just like it's interesting how yeah, I'm just going off here, but like interesting how so many non incongruent genres of music can influence each other. And when you don't think like you couldn't be further away from the source or further away from one genre, somehow it's trickled its way inside, and you're like, oh, listen, it's the same, da 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 da, and you're like, oh, but there it is in the whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those trip hop and hip hop DJs. I mean, especially further back in the day. I mean, they would go into the used record stores
Right.
just to find beats to sample. So
Yeah.
they're finding like all this obscure stuff just to, take a little piece out of something and loop it,
Right.
just to
Yeah, and I mean, like a lot of that stuff, I'm like, it happens. I think this last year I've listened to like more music. Probably like I've been on like a big. I've listened to more music that I didn't know. Like I just like that Japan vinyl thing again. Sorry to just keep talking about it, but like I went and listened to all the records that people did. I don't know if I put this. Did you? I don't even know. I'm still working on it. Did you do one? You didn't do one, did you?
no,
No, don't let me
I
feel. Don't I? Don't be like that. But there's so many people did it that but I've listed them all up, and I'm going to listen to all the records that people put forth.
okay,
And so it's been this like really year or two. It's taken me 2 years to get through. I think like 40 or 50 people that did it. And they've all put 20 records forward, and it's like all these records that like virtually don't know. Few
okay.
of them I know. So I've listened like in 1 year I listened to like 500 new records that I didn't listen to. Did you listen to 500 records that you didn't
No.
listen to? I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of it. I'm sure you did in your musical loving like in your record store days. But once you kind of get into the groove of what you like, you tend to put on the same records, right? And it was kind of like a challenge, but a very worthwhile challenge to like really try to be like, wow, why does Vinyl Richie like this record? Okay,
Mhm.
how many more songs? Like 30 more minutes of this? Okay, we're gonna do it. And that's
Right.
where the Skinny Puppy like journey happened, and all of this. So it's been a real yeah, it's been a really rewarding year for me, like listening to music this year. I've like just discovered so many new things.
Yeah, I
So
bet.
how about the vinyl community? Like how have you been interacting with the vinyl community for what has it done? I mean, like not to turn it into an interview, but like what has been what like the aspect of like gaining perspective or like expanding your musical horizons, what has the vinyl community like where has what's been enlightening from it, do you think?
That's a tough one. I don't think I've really been influenced. I know it sounds terrible that I haven't been really influenced by anyone by showing things. I mean,
Records.
that are, I mean, one in particular I know of, Emma, Eight
Yeah,
by
yeah, yeah,
Four.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
she showed off this band Misfire, which is this band from Chicago, thrash metal. So it's like, oh, that's up my alley. I never heard of them, but but beyond genres, um, nothing that I could think of.
I
Uh,
don't hear so many people. I mean, you hear it occasionally, people saying like, "Oh, you turned me on to that record." But for all the
yeah,
records that we show off to each other, we probably ought to. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but like just from knowing how like truly like rewarding it's been.
yeah.
I really I want to every time somebody puts up a record, like what's something that you would recommend to me? Like just randomly, just pull something from your memory. Like throw me a quintessential but off the radar record. Give me some metal
Okay,
homework.
just or basically a favorite of mine that a lot of people
Well,
don't
so,
know.
yeah. Give me a
Okay,
favorite. Give me something that will
okay,
like maybe
one that
be a rabbit
you,
hole into something else.
okay, something that you might dig. Is a band called Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats.
Sounds great. Sounds fantastic. Zoe, write this down. Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. Or I can go back and watch this.
Um,
Okay, I got it. It's burned to memory.
okay, they're
What's their story? Where are they from?
England.
Okay, are they contemporary? Are they old school? Are they
No, well,
girl?
I I heard them when they first came out, probably around 2011, 2012.
Oh,
And
good. Okay, that's perfect.
but they're one of those throwback
Okay.
type things. Um, very influenced by Tony Iommi, the guitar playing.
Yeah.
Um, but my favorite album by them, I want to say it's like their third or fourth album, called The Night Creeper. It's a concept record, and
Cool.
it's a very the storyline is very Jack the Ripper type character, but the music is just so good. I mean, it has a very 70s hard rock proto metal sound to it. Um,
What do they look like? I'm just curious. Not that it
it
matters, but
just
I'm just curious.
it, they're kind of one of those faceless bands. I mean, there's a few
Okay.
photos of them, but they're just like straight long hair,
Men's.
dirty denim jacket, type thing. And they're not like a look at me type band. In fact, usually when they play live, the lighting is behind them
Right.
as opposed to
In front of them,
in
yeah.
front of them. So, but yeah, they're kind of in that slightly doom esque stuff.
Who are they gonna like? What are the three bands that they might lead me to? I mean, not that you need to go into them, but just like
Well,
what?
I mean, how I discovered them because a friend of mine told me about them because I was into the band Ghost, who
Don't
are
know. Ghost.
Ghost. They're big. I mean, I first saw them in little tiny clubs. They're out of Sweden, but their first record, it sounded like a lost album from 1973.
Cool.
But the lyrics are so satanic, it's hilarious. It's almost funny. But they're the band that they wear masks, and they're
Okay, Ghost. Maybe I've seen them. If I see them, maybe I'll recognize them. Yeah.
yeah. But you know they were known enough to where my daughter, who at the time was maybe 10, 11 years old, she was asking me about, hey, have you heard this Ghost band? I'm
Oh,
like, I know
really?
the band Ghost. She found out through TikTok.
Okay.
And I guess she probably saw on there, it probably said Ghost, underscore band.
Right.
So, and I told her, I saw these guys. Well, if they ever, come into concert, can we go see them again? And we no.
Wow.
And I actually, there's a video on my channel where I bought the tickets months in advance, never told her. And I
Oh.
and I did a video where she got some VCLT from my buddy Steve for her.
Uh-huh.
Is a live Ghost record, and
That's nice.
and then
Oh,
then I
wow. That's
said, now
nice.
look at your phone, and there was the ticket for the show that night, and they're playing the big amphitheater here outside of Seattle.
That was serendipity that she got the VACLT the same day that she got the ticket,
Oh,
or you
oh no,
planned
no,
to go?
me and Steve
Okay.
planned that out.
Okay. Well done.
Um,
Well
so
done. Good
so
job, Dad. Well
yeah, so
done.
she got to see her first, metal show like
Wow.
that, and but anyway, to go back, I was into Ghost, and again, they were kind of throwback, and I was talking to a friend, and he's like, "Oh, you like Ghost? You should try this Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. I
Okay.
like those guys better." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll check them out." And yeah, their first few albums are just amazing.
Okay.
So,
I'll check those
nothing.
out.
It's pretty easily digestible. It's not,
Sure.
anything. I would never like recommend like here check out Cannibal Corpse. I mean that's not for a
Hold
novice.
on, I might have some. I might have some stuff here that could impress you. I could. I won't dig it out. Let's see if maybe. Maybe if I. Oh, that's funny though. Cannibal Corpse. Stay away from Cannibal Corpse.
Well, I mean, because that's
That's funny. No, I don't know. What do I have? No, it's too far. It's too far over there. I was gonna pull out some like Ostrotten, maybe. Maybe that would impress you, or some
so
Brother Inferior. Yeah.
being in Japan, like I know there's because I don't know the distance and all that stuff, but like Peter from Music is a Journey.
Yeah, Peter. Yeah, I'd like to get together with Peter. I don't know where he is. I think he's in Kamakura. Forgive me, Peter, but like I think he's close, but not super close.
Okay,
I think he's like doesn't come to Tokyo if he doesn't have to. I think that's about as close as he is,
okay,
and he might have. I feel like he's been here longer than I have. I've been here 20 years. I bet he's been here 30 years. I'm guessing. I'm not sure, but he probably graduated to the countryside a little bit.
okay.
He's probably like a little bit off the grid, and he's a CD guy, right? I think he kind of
Yeah,
like he's not so much like obsessive for records, but he's obviously like very, very knowledgeable about music. He turned me on to a whole bunch of stuff. He knows, like, I don't think he's a particularly like a Japanophile, like a anime sort of type manga maniac, but he, um, I'm guessing just from a sense, he's probably very literate. I'm
mm,
guessing in Japanese, and I am not, I'm pretty hacky when it comes to like, and I feel like being literate in the language. I mean, I can get by, but like, I'm guessing Peter can read and write.
okay, yeah,
I don't know why I think that, and forgive me for assuming that. But if you, but when you can get to that level of picking apart the language, and I can a little bit, but like you can really, you can see like, oh, the word, like I can't even think of an example. Like I'm just like I mean like I'm looking at these kanjis right here, like and I don't know what they are. This one's what are these kanjis? Yeah? No. これは何? 右側の what's the right one? So anyway, what I'm trying to say is like these are like characters that are made up of three more characters. These aren't like they're different, unique characters. This is just one character, but this one you might find inside another one, like inside here, and you
okay,
might find like this is a piece of another piece, and they're kind of like building blocks. And when you can read and write Japanese, you can be like, oh, the word for beautiful is uses the word like sunshine and flower or something like that, and it
okay,
gives you like an insight into the culture in a way that like those who aren't as literate just don't have. So I'm guessing just from Peter's like kind of taste and his just sort of like sensibility, he like is a student of the culture in a and then and in as much or is like a student of the music, and he turned me on to an amazing band I'm going to recommend to you called Kikagaku, or no, called Yebisu Kintatsu Yebisu, I think it's Kintetsu, King Tetsu, I think. um
okay,
Yebisu,
okay.
Yebisu,
Hold on. Okay,
Sorry, Biebisu. In English is they're called the Gordian worms, and I think worms might be spelled like Wurms. Gordian worms, and they're like a female-fronted psychedelic heavy rock metal kind of thing, punk metal thing. They're awesome. They're so good. They're so good. It's kind of funny because I hope they never watch this video, but like they've got you can tell that they're like, I think this the front woman, I think she plays guitar or she plays. I can't remember if she's just a singer, but the guitar player, who I think is kind of the leader of the band, his songs are not great. And maybe their front woman is like 10 years younger than him. I feel bad for even saying this, but like she's all the charisma of the band, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
And they're great. They're really, really good. He turned me on to that. So yeah, he's here. I want to recommend you that band, and I want to recommend you another one. Just kind of, I'm not sure if I have it handy, but uh oh, do I have one handy? This guy called, he's kind of a little bit of a cheese ball. His name's Takanaka, Matsuyoshi, I think is his first name, Takanaka. And he's kind of like having a moment right now. Everybody's kind of going crazy for him, but he's sort of like the Steve Vai of Japan. I don't know if that's a really nice characterization of him, but he's this like guitar virtuoso who like cut his teeth in a whole bunch of other bands. I don't have his thing right now, but he's got this one album that's super trippy and super good, and it's called The Seven Rainbow Goblins. Oh, I found it. I found it. This thing. This is like a psych. This is uh Matsuyoshi is his first name, right? Matsuyoshi Takanaka. And this is the Valley of the Rainbow Goblins. And
Uh,
it's kind of from like this, it's from the um I'm gonna say it's from like 79 or like 82 or something. 70, probably 79 is about right. But it's this like almost like labyrinth, like mythological sort of like journey, and it's got like narration in it, and
okay.
the seven goblins, and it's this ridiculous story that's it's like a real story by this I think Italian like children's book writer called like I forget what his name is, but it's about these like the valley where they're valley of harmony, and the goblins come there and they start like eating and terrorizing the valley, and all the animals of the valley conspire together to try to like get rid of the goblins who are, and they get together with the rainbow, and the rainbow like turns the goblins into something, and it's really sort of corny, but it's silly, but there's some incredible virtuoso shredding in it that's really really interesting, and it'd be a fun one to check out because I think it's kind of like it's having a moment right now. It'll be fun for you to just like know about.
Right on. Well,
Trevor, dude,
actually, not.
yeah,
I was gonna say, take. I was trying to look that up. It's hard to. So, just on our
top,
Instagram thing,
yeah,
on your
yeah,
message,
I'll say yeah. Send me the same ones. Yeah, Uncle Acid. What was it
yeah,
again? Uncle
Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats.
Uncle
Yeah.
Acid and the Deadbeats and Ghost, and there was one other one, and you got to check out the Gordian Worms and Takanaka, and we'll leave it at
Okay.
that. Gave each other some homework.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
definitely.
it's fine. I got a project that I'm in the middle of working on, and I think that it's just late enough in the day where it's starting to cool down. It's been so hot here. Does Tacoma get like does it is it it's mild, right?
For the most part, we had some 90-degree days here recently.
Yeah.
So, um,
It's
but
like
it's not.
100 here. It's miserable.
Uh,
It's really miserable.
yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. But
No.
yeah, it's I gotta get up. Well, my dogs, they get me up at 6 in the morning regardless because they're like, we want to eat, and so
Oh, it's got to be late. What time? It's got to be in the middle of the night or
it's
something.
it's it's coming up on 11:30 here. Um,
Okay. Okay. Good. That's
but
not too bad.
no, it's not totally horrible. But yeah, I got the back of my truck filled. I got to go to the dump in the morning, and
What kind of dogs do you have?
I got a black lab German Shepherd mix. Got a husky and a Great Pyrenees.
Oh, the big white one. Those are huge. They eat a
Yeah,
lot of food, I think. You got some big dogs.
yeah, and we don't do like Purina, kibble. No, we go to this boutique
Okay. They're
store, and
eating you out of house and home.
their 26-pound bag of food runs me about $110 every other week,
Oh,
and
dang.
then their dinner consists of, well, the Great Pyrenees gets ground turkey, and sweet potato. All three of them get sweet potato, but he gets ground turkey, and the other two get chicken. That's their dinner.
What
So
about how old is the Pyrenees?
I want to say he's probably coming up on 3 years old.
Okay.
He was our first time doing a rescue.
Okay. Because
Um,
there's a neighbor of ours who has lots of them. She's got them. We've seen her go. I don't think I'd hate to be, I don't know. They're one of those breeds. I think that they don't go on so long. I don't know if you've read. I'm not sure.
I don't
But
know. It's just
I
my
see them
wife.
carting around. I see them carting them around in wagons after a while. They're just so big, and they've got that dysplasia thing or whatever. I'm not totally sure about it, but I see they're like too big. They've got like gigantic. I don't know if yours super huge.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Hold on, let's see if I can get him in here. Hold on, come on, buddy. Where you at? Hold on, come here, buddy.
Olaf,
Come on,
nice.
come on.
I can hear his footsteps. He
Well,
sounds huge.
I would move the camera, but this room is a
I
fucking
can hear him,
disaster.
dude. I can sense he sounds like a big dog. That's
Yeah,
funny.
it's like half his weight is in his skull. It looks like, but
Right, right.
but no, he's a good dog. I mean, he'll lead you to, like, if he wants to be fed, he'll gently take your
Yeah.
arm and pull you.
Wow, cool, man.
Yeah,
I love dogs. We don't. We've got a little allergy situation going on here, but yeah, good on you. Good
yeah,
on you. Well, dude, it's fun to hang out. I'm glad we got
yeah,
a little FaceTime here, man. I
yeah,
appreciate you inviting me up. Thanks for hanging out.
yeah. It's good to
But
meet
connect.
digitally and
Yeah. If you, let's stay in touch. But
yeah.
if you, of course, if you or somebody is coming this way, then definitely hook them up with me. And I don't. It's been. I don't know if I'll. Who knows what'll happen. I'm not sure when the next time I'll be in the Pacific Northwest, but I do have roots there. My brother's in Seattle. I have a brother in
Okay,
Seattle and
okay.
a big crew in Portland. So it's not unreasonable to think that there could come a day in the not so distant future that I might find myself in Puyallup and Tacoma. And I think that's the first time I've ever said the name of that town and remember. Did I get it right?
And
Puyallup.
you pronounced it properly. That's the cool thing, because no one ever. I mean, hell, even when I first moved here, I'm like, how do you say this name?
Okay. Well,
So,
stay in touch, dude, and I'll see you on the inner tubes, and I'll see you on the Instagrams and stuff like that. And if you ever see me around and I'm doing a panel or something, invite yourself up by all means.
all right, cool, Brian.
All
Have a good
right, good
one.
talking to you, Trevor. Take care now.
Take
Bye
care.
from
We'll see you.
Tokyo. See ya.
Good night. Well, that was cool as shit hanging out with Brian. Um, yeah, it's coming up on 11:30 here. I think I'm gonna call it a night. This was cool to impromptu live stream. I'm glad Brian stopped by. Glad Mark, they're in the comments. Looking forward to Friday with I guess he sent me some BCLT that I have no idea what it is, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll be doing an unboxing video of that, a true unboxing, not like opening up, looking at it, putting it back in the box and calling it an unboxing. But anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. I got a lot of shit to do in the morning and continue this cleanup weekend. So everyone, thank you for hanging out, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.